Okie doke. We are here. Okay. So let's start at the top of the mat. I'm going to move this little bag that is hanging from our doorknob because how sloppy can my house look? I just have to clear out this tiny little area. Okay. Let's bring our feet together, our hands together. Let's just roll our shoulders up and back. Then bring them forward and do it again. And notice how your spine changes shape as you do this. Let's exaggerate that a bit. So let your hands come down and let your spine do like a whole rounding, arching thing. And it's going to help you get your shoulders around a little bit more. Also, just warm you up. Let's go the other way with the shoulders. This is something that we do in our dance classes because we need a lot of spine flexibility. And sometimes in yoga, we don't want all the spine flexibility because maybe we're trying to balance in something crazy and we need to be real stiff. So we just want to make sure that we know how to be stiff and we know how to be fluid. So let's just shake out the arms. We'll bring our feet together again if you separated them. And let's reach up, look up. Exhale to fold forward. Halfway up for the inhale. And let's just step to plank for the exhale. You can be on your forearms if you have any wrist issues. Let's bring our feet all the way to touch so you feel ankle bones clunking together. And without changing anything in your upper body, just step your feet to the edges of your mat. So now you have a wide stance, and then step them in again so your ankle bones clunk. And just do that a few times, stepping in and out. Doesn't matter right now which leg you're doing first or second, but try to let your arms stay equal weight and don't wiggle your hips around. So now you have a moment of being stiff, being strong. Okay, let's meet with our feet at hips width and just press to downward dog. When you get there, pedal out the feet. So one knee bends while the other heel touches down and alternate. If you let your hips get shifty, you're going to definitely get your foot to the floor, your heel to the floor. And let's have both heels reach toward the floor. They may or may not actually go. But we're pushing into our hands and fingers to try to get our butt away from our hands. And we're engaging the quads so the legs are super straight. That's going to help us get our heels down. Okay, let's start to walk forward. Eventually, your feet will be toward the top of your mat. Doesn't quite matter where. We'll inhale. And let's fold for the exhale. And bend into the knees. Start to roll up. And eventually, your head comes up and you just stack your bones. Let's inhale, arms up. We're going to take cactus arms as we twist to the right. And inhale through center again. Your hip bones are facing front. Exhale, twist left. Keep your hip bones facing front. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist. So it's really just your shoulders that are moving. If we were going to turn and let the hips wiggle also, you would get much more ability to look back. So let's meet on our right side twist. Shift your weight over to the left foot. Bring your hands to prayer. And just try to lift your right knee toward your left elbow. Tap those right toes down again. Knee up toward left elbow. Tap the toes down. And we'll just do this a few times. No big deal if you can't get your knee to actually touch. You might also want to bend your left leg if your balance feels wonky. Let's just take one more. And with that right foot down, we're just going to untwist, reach up. And we'll take it to cactus on the other side. First, just getting stable and comfortable there. Then we shift our weight and bring our hands to prayer. And then we start to lift and lower that left knee. Good. So make any modifications you need. One thing that I like to do here is press hand into hand to help me sort of focus on something because there's a lot moving. And I like it when there's something that I can keep totally still. Let's take one more. Good. And we'll untwist. We'll reach up for the inhale. And let's fold forward for the exhale. Halfway up for the inhale. And we'll step to plank. Your choice if you're on your forearms or if your knees come down. Let's again bring our ankle bones to clunk. Looks like you have one leg. And we're just going to tap our right knee to the elbow, step the foot back, left knee to the elbow, step the foot back. So we'll just alternate legs. If you're on your forearm, it's going to be harder to tap your elbow, so play it by ear. You're working your hip flexor to get your knee to come forward, but you're working your core so that you don't get your hips low. We want to keep our hips up. We'll take one last cycle. So whatever your cycle ends, that's with your left leg. And we'll just press the downward dog, feet at hips width again. Shake out your head. And let's walk our hands back about 6 inches. Our dog then is a little shorter. It's going to be easier to get your heels to the floor. And just reach your left hand towards your right ankle. It might have to go up towards your knee. It might not be able to get all the way to your ankle. But wherever you grab is fine. Try to push your right heel to the floor. Straight right arm, push your right hip back. So we're keeping length in the right side body, even though we're doing this grab, which makes it a little bit harder. Okay, left hand down, right hand up to left knee, shin, or ankle. Notice your tendency to swing your hips to the left. Don't do that. Get your left hip to move back. Just embrace the harder aspect of it. It's not going to last forever. We can do it. Heels down, legs strong. Good. And let's release the right hand down. We'll just start walking the feet forward. Your hands moved back, so now forward might be in a different place. We'll inhale when we get there. And exhale to fold. Bend the knees, start to roll up. Find articulation here. Try to relieve your tension. So I have to shake out my arms and neck quite a lot as I roll up. Otherwise, I'm just like a Frankenstein monster. Okay, Utkatasana. We'll bend into the knees, reach up. And then straight legs, arms down. Just a couple times like that. Sit as low as you can. I can go all the way down because I have no knee issues right now. And then we'll come all the way up. So just find your range. Heels are going to stay down for right now. We will be changing that at some point. Okay, so let's meet in the Utkatasana with hands in prayer. We'll just lean forward and bring our left elbow outside the right thigh. So we're just in a twist. Push your right hand down so your chest lifts up towards your thumb. We'll hang out for a few breaths. Maybe we'll look up. See the ceiling right above you, so your chin is by your shoulder. Okay, let's keep the twist, but look down. Just lift your right heel off the floor. Come onto your right tippy toes, and then start to bring your right knee up. So we wind up in the same place that you were in earlier when you were lifting and lowering your knee. But this time we're staying there. You got there in a different way. You might be leaning forward a little bit. Just see how it goes. You're pushing your leg into your arm. And let's slowly bring that right foot down again. Let's unravel. Straight legs, arms up. And we'll fold forward for the exhale. Inhale halfway. And step back, chaturanga, exhale. We're just cleansing the palate. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. And we'll step, walk, or jump our feet toward our hands. We'll inhale, get some stretch in the back of the leg. Exhale, head towards shin bones. And start rolling up with a little bend in the knees or a big bend in the knees. Depends on your spine. You need to let your knees accommodate for any stiffness. Okay, Utkatasana. We're just going to go right into the hard thing on the other side. Hands to prayer, we twist. We hook our right elbow. I know that it's hard. Don't worry, I am not delusional. So we're pushing hand into hand. Then we can look up. We can lean that left shoulder back a little bit. Get a more satisfying twist. Good. Let's keep the twist, but look down. Lift the left heel off the ground. Come onto the tippy toes and start to bring the knee up. Keep pressing leg into arm because otherwise it all slips apart. You might turn your gaze back. We'll take 3 more breaths. 2. Last breath. We'll keep our twist as we bring our left foot down again so that we can untwist and straighten the legs, reach up. Let's release the hands down by our sides. Just separate the feet about hips width, maybe wider. I'm going a little wider just because I feel like it. So that's the official reason. Arms are going to come out. We're just going to press back with our hands and try to get our heels up off the ground. And gently we'll lower our heels down and reach forward. So as we shift our weight enough to get our heels up, we need to keep the idea of our ankles moving toward one another. If you let your ankles bend out to the side, it's going to feel real compromised. So lift up as slow as you need to in order to keep your weight on the ball of your foot and your ankles moving toward each other. Even if you only do like the heels up a 1/2 inch and you're moving at half speed, totally fine. But I don't want your ankles to be all wobbly and fast moving. It's not the point. Okay, we're going to meet with our heels up, but our arms are going to come up as well. And we're trying to get our arms now to frame our ears. We'll just take 2 more breaths here, like you're going to touch the ceiling. Let's try to keep our heels lifted as we fold forward. Depending on your flexibility, you may or may not be able to get your hands to the floor with your heels up. See how it goes. Then lower the heels, drop the head, shake it out, and let's just meet in plank. And I'm going to swivel my body around a little bit because we're going to do something with them little feetsies. So here you are in plank. We're going to keep our heels reaching back so they're just over the balls of the feet. But let's do that with the right foot and bring the left knee to tabletop. Then lift the right leg to hip height. Lower it down. We'll meet in normal plank, 2 feet back. Then right knee down to tabletop. Left leg up to hip height. Lower that left foot, step back, normal plank. And again, left knee tabletop. Right leg up hip height. Right foot down. Left foot steps to plank. One more time on this other side. Right knee comes down. Left leg comes up. Left toes come down. Right foot steps back. Let's stay there for a moment. Notice you're reaching your heels back. Let's let the butt lift. Heels come down. Down dog B. We come to the forearms. Then return to plank by pushing the heels up. That's going to nudge your weight forward so you can get your arms straight. So hips up, elbows down. There's your forearm dog. Hips down, elbows up. There's your straight arm plank. And just go back and forth at whatever pace suits you. And notice how your heels are changing their action. When you're in down dog B, your heels reach toward the floor. They may or may not touch. And when you're in plank, your heels are quite high. They're not trying to touch the floor anymore. Okay. Let's meet in a straight arm dog. Shake out your head. And let's bring our right foot forward to the hands. We'll lower our left knee down. Anjaneyasana. Hands on that right thigh, just nudging it forward. Good. Let's add a twist. Left arm up and around. Big hook. Hands to prayer. Try to look up, see the ceiling. And curl your back toes. Lift your left knee. And return your left knee to the floor. So we're staying in the twist. We're just going from a lunge twist to an Anjaneyasana twist. And you can go whatever pace you want. 2 more, lifting and lowerings. Okay, with the back knee down, let's untuck the twist. Hands go big toe side of foot. We're going to spin that right foot out for lizard round 1. So we'll just rock toward the pinky toe edge of the foot. Good, the knee will drop away. Let it be wiggly if it feels good. Okay, and let's turn that right foot forward again. High lunge, arms come up. And let's straighten both legs. So we're in no man's land here. From the side, it just looks like this. And we're gonna have our back heel quite high. So right now we're not reaching our back heel to the floor. Instead, it's almost like it's pushing us forward. Good. We'll bend both knees, little boxy shape. Fingers come down, and then straighten both legs. Arms will come up again. Let's just do that 2 more times. Keep quite a bit of weight in the ball of the back foot. Good. We wind up with that hip flexor stretch. Let's meet in this little boxy shape for a moment. Then we'll lean forward, hook our elbow. Our back knee is bent but off the ground. And all we're going to do is step that back foot to meet our front foot. So we wind up in a twisted chair, which you've already done before. No problem. Stepping forward might be a problem, but the pose itself is not a problem. Feet together, knees together if you can. Good. And then let's unravel and have a seat on our butts. Lift the legs up. Try to balance. Good. I'm going to face this way. So let's try to get our toes at knee height. I know it's like tempting to have your shin bones just kind of dangling, but let's just try. Good. Then we're going to keep that shape in the knee. Just tap your foot and lift it, and tap the other and lift it. So we're not necessarily bending the knee more. We're just moving the hip joint. So one knee will kind of separate, the thigh will come down a little bit. They're not going to stay level as you're alternating legs. Good. And let's bring the soles of the feet together. Just a brief Baddha Konasana so that we don't die. We'll inhale and we'll fold forward. Another opportunity to wipe sweat. I don't know if it's hot where y'all are, but I am dying. Okay. And let's start to lift our torso. We're going to come to standing. So it's possible you do that with no hands. You just put your feet on the floor, shift your weight, and stand. Or however else you want to stand. That'll work too. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway up for an inhale. Chaturanga for an exhale. Inhale, upward facing. Feel free to skip all that and go just to downward dog. That's where we wind up. And let's step left foot forward. Anjaneyasana. We hang out for a few breaths. Just gently nudging into this right hip flexor. Just letting it know, like, okay, we will pay some attention to you. We know you exist. We know you struggle in this world. Okay, adding the twist. We reach up and over with that right arm. We try to get pretty big hook. So armpit is close to thigh. Hands to prayer, curl the back toes. When you're ready, lift the back knee and gently place it down again. So any pace you want to go. The whole time you're going to dig that left heel into the floor. The whole time you're also pushing hand into hand, arm into leg, leg into arm. So even though there's movement, there's a lot of stuff that's stable. Focus on the stable stuff. Good. Let's meet with the knee down. We'll unravel ourselves. Hands to the big toe side of the foot for lizard. Round 1, style 1. There's 1,000 ways to do lizard. Let's turn that left foot forward again. We'll lift the back knee, find our normal lunge where our back leg is straight and our front leg is bent. And we'll straighten that left leg. Good. Then bend both knees and rise up again. So we have to squeeze our thighs together the whole time here. Otherwise, you're going to feel super wiggly. So it's like you want your right hip and right foot to move forward. Good. Let's meet with our back knee off the ground but bent. Lean forward, hook your right elbow. Find your twisted lunge with a bent leg. And when you feel ready, that back foot is going to push. And you're going to step right foot next to left foot. Feet touch, knees touch. Lift your chest a little higher. Left shoulder back a little more. Two more breaths. Sit your butt a little lower. I know the thighs are like, no, I don't want to. Okay, let's unravel ourselves. Have a seat. And we'll just extend the legs out long. Oh my God. I'm torturing myself, so I know I'm torturing you also. We're going to bring our hands in front. So there's a bit of a lean forward. You could be on palms or fingertips. You could put blocks, doesn't matter. You'll see in a second what we're going to do, and then you might change what you want with your hands. So we're just going to anchor this left leg to the floor and try to lift our right leg up. Put the right leg down, anchor it, left leg up. And just alternating which leg comes up. Try to do it while you're leaning forward. It's way hard. You might have a signal from your brain to your leg to lift, and it might be like the most minor amount, but that's fine. If you feel firing up in your quads, it's working. Doesn't matter how high it gets. Good. And then finish up your round. We'll rise up again. Let's go for double pigeon. Right leg on top. And let's find our legs in some form of double pigeon. I like that folks are grabbing props and things. Do whatever thing with your props. Then we're just going to do cat-cow spine from here. So the legs will be the pigeon, and we'll lift our chest arch, chin up, and we'll round our back, chin to chest. And we'll just do this a few times. So it's changing your pelvis on the floor. It's going to then affect your hip situation for better or for worse. Just take it as it comes. There's no need to judge your hip. Your hip does a lot for you. Don't be mean to it. Don't be bitchy. Okay, so the next time that you're passing through neutral, we'll stay there. We're going to take our first two fingers and thumbs of the right hand, loop it on the big toe, and just extend your leg straight. So the left leg can just stay where it is. It's out of the way. It's no big deal there. So let's let the leg come kind of low and notice how your upper body has to move forward to accommodate that. Then sit up so your shoulders are over your hips and pull your shoulder back so that your leg is now lofty. Let's just do that one more time just so we see the ranges. Here we are kind of leaning forward like we're about to come into a Paschimottanasana or something. Then we'll rise up. We're going to get our shoulder back. Then if you can, start bending your elbows so the leg comes even higher. But the way we get our leg higher is not by leaning back at all. It's just by bending the elbow. Good. We're just going to stay there for a few breaths. We're going to pull with the arm. We're going to kick with the foot. Nice. Let's keep our leg where it is. Just slowly release your arm and frame your leg. We won't be here forever. Don't worry. We're just going to bring our left hand out across the foot to the pinky toe side of the foot. A nice easy twist, reaching back with that right arm, looking back. Good. One more breath. Okay, let's unravel ourselves. Let's put our feet on the floor again. Stand up. However you want to go through that process. We'll inhale, arms up, and we'll fold for the exhale. Halfway up for an inhale, chaturanga for an exhale. Upward facing for an inhale, and downward facing for the exhale. Let's bring our right knee toward the right elbow, then slide it to the wrist, lift it to the elbow again. Slide it to the wrist, lift it to the elbow. 2 more times. And then just step to downward dog, rest for a second. So I want us to feel our abs working for this, specifically your obliques on the side where your leg is lifted. So on this coming side, it's going to be your left side abs. Let's rock forward to plank. Left knee to elbow. Let it slide down and hoist it up. Good. So there's going to be movement in your hips, down and up. That's where the work is. It's fine. And we'll meet in downward dog again. Good. And let's come through to sitting so that we can go double pigeon side 2. Left ankle will be on right thigh. Good. This time, instead of the cat-cow situation, we're going to go side bending out to one side. Then bringing it up and around like a little rainbow windmill over to the other side. And you're going to have a favorite side, because sometimes it makes it easier on the hips and sometimes harder. If you find that reaching out is making you lean forward, just put your hand behind your head instead of reaching it out. And then you'll be a little more honest maybe in keeping your alignment where your neck, head, shoulders, hips are all stacked. Okay, so let's bring it through center again. We're going to take left hand yogi toe lock grip on left big toe. Extend the leg out. Good. So karate chop your edge of right foot into the floor so that that bottom ankle is doing something. And let your left leg come forward and down a little bit, and then hoist it up. Try to roll your shoulder back. Arm in the socket. Good. One more time. Let it come down. And then leg comes up, arm in the socket. So it shouldn't be that hard to stay here because your back muscles are crazy strong. So if you get your arm in the socket, your lats are going to hold your leg for you. It's not that big of a deal. If you want to start bending the elbow, now it's a little bigger deal. You got to use your bicep more. Leg stays straight. You just bring your shin bone towards your face a little bit more. That's going to be more of a flexibility thing. You all have the strength for it. It's just, does your hamstring want to do that? Okay, let's keep the leg where it is. Frame the leg. We'll just take a few breaths. And then we head into our twist. Right hand to pinky toe side of foot. Left arm back, try to look back. And as you're looking back, keep pressing your foot forward into your hand. Because if you lean back too far, there's going to be no more pressure hand into foot. It will just be the foot kind of lifting toward the ceiling. That's something else. Good. And let's unravel ourselves. We'll bring the soles of the feet to the floor. We're just going to meet in a squat. So we've been maybe going through the squat to stand. Maybe you've been avoiding the squat. Let's see what happens. So now I just have my butt off the ground, but the soles of the feet on the ground. Let's heel toe the feet apart until you can get your heels to the floor. So we're all going to have a different distance between our feet. You might want to turn your feet out to the side. It's fine. You could have them parallel. It's fine. I just want us to hang out for a sec. And then, Heather, can you get your knees back a little bit? The weight is not quite enough on the edges of your feet. It does help if you have something to hold on to. I've done this in the park with people, and they hold the grass, and then the grass starts ripping out of the ground, and then they end up on their butts, and it's so funny. But that's life. Okay, so we're going to meet in a down dog. Some of you are going to go Bakasana to jump back. If you want that, you'll just lift your butt a bit, put your knees towards your armpits, start to bring your weight into your hands, then jump it back when you feel like it. All roads lead to downward dog. Okay, warrior two. Finally, something normal. Right leg in front. But let's see, can we make it not normal? I bet we can. Let's lift our right heel off the floor. And I'm gonna move my foot a little closer to the camera. Let's see, where can I put it? I can't get that close. Okay, so when your foot comes up, don't let this happen. You have to keep your foot sort of lined up. If your heel is lifting and your ankle is bending out to the side, no bueno. So practice right heel up, but right ankle bone to the left. Good. Let's put the heel down again, turn it into Ardha Chandrasana. We'll shift our weight into just the right foot, left arm up. Maybe you can look at your left thumb. And we're trying to get our left leg hip height, but the work is really in that right ankle. So it's the same thing as when your heel is up. You can't let your ankle bend out to the side. So glue that ball of foot down, spread your toes. The bigger your foot, the easier this is. Good. Let's keep that right foot exactly as it is. Warrior two again. Big step back. And you can adjust your stance with your left foot moving all around. Good. Exalted warrior, right arm up and back. Let's keep reaching that right arm back. We're just going to straighten the right leg and then rebend it. So usually when folks do exalted warrior, they turn it into something else right away. That would be more normal. But I just want us to see what's the difference in this side bend when our leg is bent versus when it's straight. Either way, we're in complete control of our right foot and of our right leg and of where we are in space. Good. The next time your leg is straight, keep it that way. And now we'll do that normal transition into triangle. Right hand comes down to the shin, ankle, big toe, block, floor. Good. And this is another moment where we need our right ankle bone to move to the left, just a smidge, just enough so that you feel that your anchor is not gonna send you astray. You can lean your left shoulder back, embrace the pose more, and that right ankle bone is going to keep you intact. Good. Let's rise up for an inhale. High lunge. We'll just bend that right knee, lift the left heel, and let's do a little step forward, then a little step back. So not really going anywhere, just going back and forth for a moment, just into your lunge and then into no man's land, just to practice that idea of pushing off the back foot. And when you can, we're going to push off the back foot for standing pigeon. Left ankle to lower right thigh, butt out, lean forward. Hands could be on the counter or on the floor or anywhere else. We'll take 2 more breaths. Okay, right hand to hip, left hand to yogi toe lock. Grip. Stand up first, so our right leg is straight. We have our grip on our foot, but otherwise we're not really in the full pose yet because our knee is quite bent. We're just going to start thinking sole of foot to face front, like a happy baby situation. The knee can still be quite bent, but the sole of the foot will be angled front. And then when we feel like it, we'll start to push the sole of the foot forward so the leg gets more and more straight. You decide how straight it gets. The work is really in the right leg, the standing leg. Without that anchor, it's too precarious to even be bothered with the left leg. Let's rebend that left leg. Keep it where it is, but hand to hip. So now it's just a free agent. It's just up there on its own. And now you can really feel how that right leg is working because you're not distracted by the stretch. And then just release it down, shake it out. Oh, God. Let's vinyasa. Arms up for an inhale. And fold, exhale. Halfway up, inhale. To chaturanga, exhale. upward facing into downward facing so that we can bring our left foot forward for warrior two. It's a long time ago that we did it on the other side. So sometimes I put my hands on my hips here just to make sure they're facing sideways. Sometimes I bring them out and play the game of are my triceps engaged? Either one, or anything else you can think of, but now lift your left heel. And just practice angling the ankle bone just a smidge to the right, just to make sure that you're not bowing it out. So it's not really that extreme. It's just that we're trying to avoid the tendency of lazy ankles, which is very common. My foot is slipping because my foot is sweaty and I'm on Mike's mat. Mike's mat is no bueno. Okay, let's put that heel down again and we'll come in and out of Exalted Warrior. So we reach back and then we rise up again. Oh, we did this with a straight leg. We reached up and back. Did we do it? No, we did it with a bent leg. We did it with a bent leg. I lied to you. Keep it in Warrior two. Reaching up and back. I know your thigh is dying. That's why I was like, oh, I surely didn't make them do it with a bent leg. But in fact, I did. Okay, uno más. We can do anything one more time. My cat is about to, oh, she jumped, but she didn't mess up the cord. Amazing. Let's straighten that left leg for triangle. We'll reach out and down. So you just did a lot of work to lengthen the left side of your body. It would be a shame to collapse it now. So keep reaching your armpit away from your hip. Even if that means your hand has to be higher up on your leg. Good. And if you can be brave a little bit and lean that right shoulder and right ribs back, you will find a more delicious opening of the chest. But in order to do that, you have to keep your left ankle bone moving to the right. We'll just take one more breath. And we'll rise up for an inhale. I know what I forgot. I forgot your Ardha Chandrasana. So let's take it now. We'll shift our weight forward and we'll get that right leg up in the air and hip height. And we'll try to look at that right hand. Good. You can have your left leg quite bent if you want, not a big deal. You could have your left hand on a block if you want so that you can get the leg straight. But you just need to keep toes spread, ball of foot down. Good. Let's return to our warrior two. And we'll meet in a high lunge so that we can do a little bit of a stepping forward, stepping back situation. Just to practice, how do you push off? And when you can, bring that right ankle to your lower left thigh. Butt out, lean forward. Flex that right foot. As if your toenails of that right foot are trying to touch your shin bone. Good. So sometimes if you sit real low in this, you'll be more likely to get your leg fully straight in that next thing because you're going to really be tired. So play that game with yourself maybe, sit a little bit lower. And then let's put left hand to hip, right hand to yogi toe lock grip and just stand up and enjoy. Oh yeah, thank God. Thank God the left leg is straight. And then when we feel like it, the right sole of foot faces front, happy baby style. And then maybe we start to kick a little bit more. It winds up being a hamstring stretch if you're not distracted by balance. You could always put your left hand on a countertop if you need, but try to turn your attention to that left foot. Good. Let's rebend the leg. Keep it there. Just release your right hand. I have my hand on the hip, but you can put it anywhere. It doesn't matter. You can fix your hair, wipe your sweat, but just keep the leg in the air. Good. And then release it to the floor. Shake it out. Okay. Vinyasa. Inhale. And we fold. Exhale. Halfway up. Inhale. Chaturanga. Exhale. We'll meet in downward dog. I think that I did everything on side 2. I'm going to look to you guys. If one of you starts doing something that I forgot, I will announce it to the group. Okay. Let's bring right foot forward. Between the hands, left knee down. Anjaneyasana. Again. Okay. This time we're going to make sure our back knee is padded up enough that there's no distraction with that kneecap. So I have a thick enough mat. I used to use a mat from Ross Dress for Less. Heather probably doesn't know what that is because she's not a U.S. citizen. It's not a great thing to know, so I'm happy for her. But my Ross mat was so chintzy that I had to put a giant pillow. This mat is better. But do what you need so that it's not a distraction. The left arm is going to come up and around. We're going to bend the leg, just tap. Then we're going to let it go and circle it up and around again. So this left arm is going to do a little rainbow, tap the toe or thereabouts, and then rainbow itself out of there. Good. Just do a few more. It's fine if you're not able to actually touch your toe. Just the process of bringing your heel up toward your butt is working your hamstring like crazy. So it's fine. It's doing the work that it needs to do. Then we're going to hold on and stay there. So if you weren't able to tap, now's where you might get a strap, a towel, etc. If you're able to hold the foot directly, let's put our hand on the big toe side of the foot this time so that the palm is facing the left. So you just end up with a little more chest stretch. And then maybe bend your front knee a little deeper. So you're essentially in a split from knee to knee, a straight line. Okay, good. Let's slowly get out of there. Let's curl the back toes and let's come to a standing split. So we'll push off the left foot and lift it up to the ceiling. For right now, let's hold on to our right calf muscle with both hands if possible. And with your arms, start to pull your chest closer to your leg. Lift your left leg a little bit higher. Point the toes. 2 more breaths. Okay, let's release fingers down. Curl into a little ball so that your 2 knees touch and your head goes toward your knees. Hang out here for a sec. In a moment, we're going to come all the way to sitting on our butts. Some of you are just going to extend your left leg forward and have a seat right from there. If that seems crazy, sit down some other way, and then we'll just meet on our butts. Good. So our knee will be over our ankle. Let's hug the knee to the left shoulder so that we're twisting. Maybe hook your arm, maybe take your bind, any of these things. But we're going to try to sit up tall and get our right knee to stay over the ankle. Let's look back, chin toward shoulder. We'll just take 2 more breaths. Okay, let's unravel ourselves. We'll keep our left leg where it is. We're going to press our calf muscle into the floor so that is our anchor point. Right hand to yogi toe lock grip, extend the leg forward. You were here before, no big deal. This time, let's take it to the side. Good, and let your arm be straight for a second. Notice, how do you feel? Where's the heaviness? Now let your elbow bend. How does it feel? Just go back and forth a few times. We will, of course, do this standing in a few minutes. So just enjoy how easy it is. There's no anxiety. Okay, let's put our right ankle on our lower left thigh. It's like a standing pigeon. It's like a double pigeon, but it's different. We're going to lean back and bring our left heel pretty close to our butt, as close as you want it to be. And then we'll try to lean forward a little bit, basically by using our hands behind us to nudge us forward. So your right hip is going to tell you clear as day where you should go. The good news is that we're almost done with this side. The bad news is that to get to the other side, we're going to do a Galavasana jump back vinyasa. So what that means is we're going to take this hip stretch into an arm balance and then jump back if we want to. So to get there, first I would lift my butt. Then I would get myself to this flying pigeon, standing pigeon that you've already done. Then instead of Bakasana, where you have knees in your armpits, here I'm going to have one knee and one ankle wedged into my armpits so that I can shift my weight forward, get the left leg to lift up, and then jump it back from there. It's not actually harder than Bakasana physically, but it's complicated because of what's going where. So I'll talk you through it just a smidge more, and then you can decide. So if you're coming into the balance, your right armpit's going to go to this part of your knee, and your left armpit's going to go to this part of your ankle. Your foot has to be flexed, and then you'll feel the lean. It's the same feeling as Bakasana. You're going to notice when can your left foot lift off the ground. Your left toes are going to nudge you. They're going to point, and then it'll lift. Eventually, the leg gets fully extended behind once you're comfy with that process of the balance. Good. So we all meet in downward dog. Now let's bring our left foot forward. Anjaneyasana. First, we just hang out. And we get our pillows, our blankies, our towels situated. And I was talking a lot on the other side before we started the other thing, a whole Raw Stress for Less tangent. For all the shit I talk about that store, I love that store. You never know what you're going to find. Okay, so let's start the arm circle and the hamstring stretch. So we're going to reach back, tap, reach up and forward, untap. So we're dealing with shoulder here, but we're probably distracted by quad and hamstring. The process of squeezing heel to butt, that is all hamstring. Try to keep the left leg quite bent as you do this. Just see if that's possible. Okay, and let's meet with our grip on the foot. Use whatever strap or towel thing you need. We're going to try to get our thumb close to our big toe. Just hang out here. Get used to this idea. It turns into a lot of other things later on. Second series is all kinds of shoulder and quad things that happen at the same time. So this is a nice way to get these body parts to know that they're connected. They have to work together. Okay, let's let that go into standing splits. So we shift our weight into the left foot. The right leg lifts up. And let's put our hands on our left calf muscle. Pull yourself closer to the legs. The more you pull your body in, the more you're going to be able to lift your right leg up. Toes to the ceiling. Good. Let's put our fingertips down, knee to knee, head toward knees. Hang out for a sec. You're very rounded, and the belly has to draw in to make the space for these body parts to connect. Then when you're ready, have a seat on your butt. You can bring your right foot forward first and then have a seat so that you're just there, ready for Marichyasana C. If you start your Marichyasana C and you're twisting and this right leg starts getting wimpy and does something like this, where it's just like floppy, the pose is going to be weak and pointless. So push that calf muscle down, hug the knee to the right shoulder. We've done all this work to clear our schedules. We might as well have that calf muscle pushed down. It's the least we can do. So maybe let's hook the arm. Maybe we'll bind it, do whatever kind of twist you want. But as you're looking back, bring your attention to what's happening in your right leg. Just feel it. You don't have to see it to know if it's straight. Two more breaths. Last breath. Okay, we'll unravel ourselves. We'll take our big toe grip. We'll extend the leg out. And we're just stacking shoulders over hips. Easy peasy. And we'll take it to the side. And let the arm straighten. And bend it up. Couple times like that. Just so that when we get to do it standing, you'll know where's your range. How can you deal with that even when you're in balance? Can you go to your max lift? Good. And let's place the ankle on the lower right thigh. Lean back, get the sole of your right foot to the floor somewhere. Bring your butt as close to your heel as you want. Chest as close to your shin as you want. So for that arm balance, you do need to have a degree of flexibility in your hip because you have to get your armpit onto your leg. It doesn't quite have to be armpit, like right now I'm very high up on my arm. You could be down here closer to your elbow. It's just a little scarier because you could then slip off. So you just want to be as high up as you can. Okay, so we'll meet in downward dog. Those of you who want the arm balance, you shift your weight forward first so that you can get your right foot down and your butt up so that you can situate your arms. And you're going to place your hands quite a bit in front of you. If they're right next to your foot, it's too hard for your right foot to nudge you forward. So the hands come forward, the ankle and the knee go toward the upper arms, and then this right foot is quite important. Elbows have to get over wrists, and then you can play with getting your right foot off the ground. So give it a try. Once you get your weight in your hands, you're going to know when your leg can lift. It will not be guesswork. It will be very obvious that it's not holding weight anymore. Oh, side two, no go, huh? I'm not saying names, but I saw that. We're going to meet in down dog. Okay, let's go right foot forward, back leg in the air, level with your hip. All we're going to do is put a little bend in your right knee, like maybe 2 inches. Right arm then lifts to the ceiling. Here's a twisted Ardha Chandrasana, then untwist, and just lower your right fingers down again. Let's just do that 2 more times. So nothing's really changing except right arm up, twist, and right hand down, untwist. The legs will just stay as they are. Good. Then the next time that you're twisting, bend your back knee so your heel comes towards your butt. Try to grab hold of your foot. May or may not be possible. If it's possible, now straighten your right leg. This is a Parivrtta Ardha Chandra Trikonasana. So we're doing the twist, the shoulder stretch, the hamstring work, the quad stretch, all at the same time. Let's unravel ourselves. Step that left foot back, lower the knee. Let's straighten the right leg so it's a half split, and then just swivel in the hip so the toes face the right side. And if this is not enough stretch for the outer right thigh, instead of being here and turning the foot out, just scooch it over to the left edge of your mat, then straighten with a flexed foot, and then pivot it to the side. So we're just trying to get a sensation in the outer right thigh, IT band style. We'll just take another breath or 2. Okay, and let's meet again in an Anjaneyasana. So adjust your right foot accordingly so it's in front of the hip. And let's crawl ourselves into split. Whatever you define split as. It's nice to wedge something underneath that front thigh. You know me, I'm too lazy to get the thing, so I just keep my weight on my hands. Maybe lift the back knee. Try to get that left hip forward another inch or so. Good. So in a moment, we're going to meet in a down dog again. Some of you will go through a Kaundanyasana jump back. So that's just another arm balance transition thing. Make your plan. Go through that. If you want Kaundanyasana, you're going to rebend your right leg so that the sole of your foot is down. You're going to bring your right arm underneath your right knee. So your shoulder or your upper arm is under your leg. Then the hands place. The right foot will go forward, slight diagonal. The left elbow will bend to catch your outer left ribs. You'll lift your left leg. From there, you can jump it back. So it's basically a split on the hands. Yeah, keep going, Heather. Get that hand now to the floor outside. Perfect. Now left knee up. Right leg kicks forward. Shift your weight a little forward. Left leg up. Yes, get that left leg higher. Good. The higher the left leg, or the back leg, I should say, the easier the jump back. Okay, so we all met in down dog somehow. Let's bring our left foot forward. So we wind up on side two. We have a lot of Ardha Chandrasanas to do first. So, not quite sure how we got there, but we're going to shift our weight forward and get our right leg off the ground. Hip height. Good. Put a little bend in your left leg just so that life is bearable. Twist left arm up. Untwist. 2 more times. Good. So as you're twisting, it's real tempting to let that right leg drop. Do not let it drop. I like to think of my left shoulder meeting my right hip as I twist. Good. On this next one, let's attempt to hold the foot. So we bend the knee, we reach for it, we kick, and maybe we straighten the standing leg also. That's asking a lot, so pick and choose. More important is going to be that shoulder rolling back. That will give you a lot of freedom to do other things. The least important of all those will be getting your left leg straight. Good. And let's unravel ourselves. We step back. We come into our half split with the swivel foot. So you decide, do you keep your foot in line with your left hip or do you move it to the right? And how much do you move it to the right? But then we're going to flex the foot and externally rotate that left hip. So not quite full split yet. Just deal with that IT band for better or for worse. If you're a runner, put this in your repertoire a little bit more often. Okay, now we get to go into full splits. We bring our left foot to a normal Anjane style in front of our left hip. And then we creep it forward. Or we creep our right leg back. 4. Tight side. Forever tight side. Consider lifting your right knee. Even if you just lift it an inch, you're going to have more awareness in that right leg. Full pose normally does not have back leg up. I just like what it brings to the table to put the back knee up. Okay, so we start to transition, I think. All right, we just got out of there. We just went to our Kaundanyasana jump back. So those of you that are doing it, you're going to get your shoulder under your knee. Hands are the same distance they'd be in your downward dog. Left leg up, right leg up. Try to run down. All paths lead to the same place. Let's start to walk our feet forward. We're going to meet in a squat with our feet angled out to the side. I used to do this with my toes literally dangling off the edges of the mat. Now that feels a little too wide for me, so I do it a little less dramatic, but it doesn't really matter so much. Do what feels sort of natural-ish. Let's bring right shoulder inside of knee. Open up the arms to twist. Notice you're leaning to the right. That does not mean that your left leg is useless. You still have a lot of weight there. Let's bind it if possible. So our right hand is going to flip up. The knuckles are going to drag along the floor until the knuckles get by your hip. Good. So as we're here, just enjoy. Get the knees to press back. We are going to transition to a standing pose that has the same right arm, right leg. So to do that, we're going to keep our bind. We're just going to shuffle our feet a little bit closer together underneath us. So just a little heel toe wobble wobble. Get your right leg a little bit straighter so that your butt moves away from your heel, and that will help you come all the way up to stand, still in the bind. And we'll meet with a left leg straight. If that's not a way to get to standing, then just stand up and hold on to your shin. We're going to transition out of this momentarily. So we'll just meet standing. Our right shin is more or less vertical. Those of you holding the bind, let's undo the bind and just reach for our big toe. Right hand, right foot. Right leg will come out to the side, left hand to the hip. Good. Bend the right elbow, your leg will come higher. Straighten your right elbow, your leg will come down a bit. Bend your right elbow, leg comes higher. Straighten. 2 more times. Bend. And straighten. 1 more time. Good. Let's bring the sole of the right foot to the top of the left thigh. Tree pose, which we basically never do, but hands to hips, try to get your fingertips onto your hip bones and get them to face front. Because your right knee is up, your body's going to want to turn to the right. Try to push your right hip forward and get your right knee to move back. As if your outer right knee is going to touch the wall behind you. Good, then reach up and try to look up. Arms straight. You may or may not touch your palms together. That depends on your shoulders. But looking up in tree is really freaking hard. I just fell out of it. Hopefully you're looking up and you're not seeing it on the screen because I don't want you to see me fall. I want you to look at your thumbs. Okay, and let's slowly get that done. Shake it out. Okay, Gadzooks, how did that all start on the other side? Let me rewind in my brain. How did we do that, you guys? Oh, I know how. We were in a squat. So let's just squat down. Hello, Black Kitty. I see you with your 4 legs and your tail. I see you. Okay, so when we're squatting, remember all that stuff we did earlier about ankle strength. Here's another spot where weak ankles are going to make life difficult. So our knees have to push out. This is also a function of hip flexibility, but your ankles are your support. Your feet are your support. Everything closest to the ground is more important than the other things. Left shoulder to inside of the knee. Open up the arms. Good. And then take your bind if you want. You might need more time with the arms open before you bind. And here we are with our butt real close to our hip. Or not hip, heel. It'll be like that also when we're standing. But in the transition between the two, usually we need a little bit of space. So give yourself that wiggle room. We're going to start to adjust the feet so that they come more underneath us and that they face front. Then we'll get our butt a little bit higher so that we can push into that right foot and get the legs straight. Or we stand up and we hold on to our left shin and we hang out there. Good. So those of you with the bind, try to get your right leg a little straighter. Good. And let's transition to holding our big toe. Right hand to the hip, left hand to yogi toe lock grip. Extend that leg out. Doesn't have to be a straight leg. It could be a bent leg, or you can have a strap. But let's try to bend the elbow and then straighten the elbow, and just do that a few times. So let your hip and hamstring do what they need to do, but just find what's happening in the shoulder. How is the arm rolling back to keep it in the socket so that you're using your back muscles? How are you using your biceps? Good. And let's put that foot into tree. As high up on the leg as you can get it. I like to hook the foot above the little fat pooch. It's just a nice little hook. Make sure the hips face front. Press that knee back. Good. And then when you can, reach up. Reaching up is not that big of a deal, but looking up is a very big deal. So go slow with your changing of gaze. And even though you're going to start looking up, try to keep your attention on your foot, your right foot. The more you push down, the more your right arm reaches. It's that root to rise phenomenon. The lower you push, the higher you get. Okay, good. And we'll slowly get out of there. Shake it out. Let's vinyasa. Some of you might want to come through a Bakasana or through a tripod. Feel free to experiment with those. There have been weeks that we've done a lot of those. So at any point, just incorporate it into your practice so that you can stay fluid with it. Because all practice elements ebb and flow. Okay, let's meet with our right leg in front for pigeon. You decide how close does your foot go to your left hip. And let's bring our left forearm down in front of us so that it's an anchor point, it's pushing down. If I did nothing with this left shoulder, I'd be sort of here hanging out, but instead, oof, the arm pushes down. Then this right arm, we can swoop it back. Let's grab hold of our foot and try to pull that left foot in. Tap your heel to your left sitting bone. And if that's not working, then don't worry about that piece. You still have a pigeon. You still have a left shoulder pushing down. We're just adding on and on until you're like, no, I'm not doing that. Good. So you wind up with a thigh stretch, slight twist, super strong in the left shoulder, big stretch right hip. Okay. Let us unravel from there and just swing it around. Other side, same thing. This is the easiest way to get from pigeon on one side to the other, just a swingy swing. You know I like me an easy transition. And I know some of those arm balances don't seem like easy transitions, but once you get the arm balance, it is the easiest transition. Okay, left arm might sweep around. So we want to keep our right hip tractioning forward, left hip tractioning back, regardless of what else is happening, just so we stay true to the pigeon form. If you've put yourself in a position where that's not possible, back up a little bit, go easier, get your ego out of there. Nobody cares. Okay, good. Let's get out of there. We're just going to come onto our butt. So we'll just swing that right leg around. Yeah, nice transition. Woo! I love that one. Okay, soles of the feet are going to come down. We're going to bring our hands just a little bit kind of behind our hips. not a huge amount. And we'll just straighten the legs and slide our hips through. Then we'll pull ourselves forward for a tabletop reverse. Then we'll slide our hips through again. Straight legs leaning forward. Then we'll pull ourselves forward and up, hips at knee height. And we'll just go back and forth. We're keeping our arms straight so that we have space. If you're modifying for injury, of course, ignore that piece. But those of you who do not have wrist or shoulder issues, you're going to keep your arms straight so that you clear the floor with your butt. We'll take one more round. Good. And then we'll just meet with our butts on the floor. Excellent. Let's start to roll down. We're just going to go halfway to a roll down. So we're going to reach our feet forward as we round ourselves. We're in no man's land here. We're still reaching forward, almost like there's like a quicksand situation behind us. And we're like, we don't want to go there. Just take another moment. Then come all the way up. Let your knees bend so that you can hold on and pull yourself into a little ab stretch. Let's do it again. So we're going to round ourselves. Picture a little scoop here. You can even stare at your belly. That sometimes makes the scoop a little more effective. We'll stay for just one more breath. Then we're going to come up again. This time we're going to hold our right knee in. So we're still in the same, like pulling ourselves to neutral. We just have the leg up. Then let's come on down last time like this. Doing our little rounded shape, flirting with the idea of how close to the quicksand can we get without falling in. Let's bring ourselves up, hold the left leg, pull yourself together, shoulders over hips, stretch your collarbones even a little bit. Okay, so let's put that foot down, loose neck, no tension. Okay, so we're just going to curl into a little ball with our feet in the air. Knee and face close together. And then we'll come down, legs out, arms out. That's like a low boat with arms extended. And then we'll just come up again to a little ball. Low boat, arms extended. And then we come up to a little ball. So go at whatever pace suits you. We're just going to do like a total of 5. At no point do the feet touch the floor. Unless, of course, it's just by accident. That happens sometimes. Good. And then after your 5th one, let's just come on down to our backs. Soles of the feet to the floor, knees face the ceiling. And let's just lift the hips so we wind up with a nice ab stretch. Let's interlace the fingers under the back. Rock side to side. Take your time to roll the shoulders back because otherwise there's not as much feeling in the chest. We got to feel something. Otherwise, there just is no point. If you can, karate chop the edge of your hand into the floor. Then if you can, walk your feet closer together so your ankles and knees touch. If any of that is too much, don't bother, but you can still lift the right leg to the ceiling. It's just a little easier to do the leg lift if you have edge of hand on the floor and left foot centered, but it's still possible without that. Now let's put the right foot down, lift the left leg up. When I lift a leg, I first think thigh to chest, then extend the leg up so that you get a vertical leg. Vertical or even past vertical. Good, let's put the foot down again, release the hands, come on down. Take a little moment to rest. It will not be that long of a moment. Okay, let's hold on to the shin bones. And we're just going to rock forward and back, massaging the spine a little bit, the muscles that support you. And let's come to a squat. So we're just going to rock enough to get our weight into the feet. And if that hurts your knees, then don't do that. But here we are on the feet. Okay, so back and forth from the feet to the knees just a few times. If you have knee issues, don't do this and stay put in one spot and enjoy that one spot. So if you're back and forthing, you're going to come onto the knees and push the hips forward a little bit so you feel a stretch in the hips. And then you'll come down to your heels. It's a little bit of a forward bend. When you come onto your knees, you're in a more neutral. When you come down to your heels, you have to lean forward because otherwise your butt is going to fall onto the floor. So your hips and shoulders have to know where they are. They have to talk to each other, otherwise it won't work. Okay, let's meet standing on the knees for Ustrasana. Hands to the hips, squeeze the elbows toward each other first, like they're literally trying to touch. Then nudge your hips forward and start to arc back any amount. Keep pushing the hips forward. If you want to, you can hold on to your heels. You can drop your head back. 2 more breaths. And Santosha, make sure those ankles are drawing toward each other. Yes. Good. And let's slowly rise up and just rest for a second. Let's rest in toe crunch, just for fun. So toe crunch is where we curl the toes under, something like that, and where we sit back on the heels. When there's an injury, people tend to sit like this in toe crunch, or maybe one foot is doing that and the other is normal. We want them to be quite even. So if you have an injury on one foot, just stand instead so there's less weight. And then this situation with the ankles is the same as when we're in Ustrasana. We want to avoid this. So let's do it one more time. We're going to keep that in mind. You could always put a block if that brings you more attention there. And I'm not only yelling at Santosha now, this is for all of us. So toes can be tucked or untucked. Ustrasana, round 2. Shoulders roll back. We squeeze the elbows toward each other. Chest pops up. And we decide, do hands stay on hips? Do they come down to the heels? Do we drop our head back? But since every pose is built from the floor up, the most important thing is the alignment of the feet and knees here. Good. This is mucho mejor. Heather, pelvis forward a teeny bit more. Think pubic bone forward so that you get your tailbone down. Good. And let's slowly come up. Often coming up out of it is much harder than being in it. Let's tuck the toes if they're not currently, and we're going to meet in that squat. So we just come onto the soles of the feet, which is a gentle forward bend. Sometimes it's the perfect amount of gentle. Sometimes it's still too much. Let's come down onto our butts so that we can do another back bend from our backs. So we'll start the process of rolling down. We'll play with that quicksand idea again. Hang out there where you're not sure, like, can I get my shoulder blades just a smidge closer to the floor? Can I stare at my belly and flatten it a smidge? And then we'll come all the way down. We'll bend the knees. Let's take robot arms this time. So our elbows are just close to the ribs. Palms face each other. And push down into your elbows to get your hips up higher. Your chest will puff up. Let's touch our hip bones with our fingertips and push your hips up into your fingers. So you actually feel the activity of the legs. You feel the result of it on your fingertips. Now lift your right heel off the ground and switch so your right heel is down, your left heel is up. Now let's just keep alternating which heel is up, but try to keep your hips still. And you can feel that with your fingertips. So when a heel comes down, that does not give that hip a pass to drop. You have to keep your hip up even when the heel comes down, which just means you have to stretch that hip a little bit. That's all. Take another maybe 30 seconds here, alternating feet, aware of the ankle positioning. Good, and still a little more pubic bone up. Nice. Good, and let's slowly come on down. You could lower the heels first, and then the body comes down. Now let's bring the knees into the chest. Just rock a little side to side. Let's drop the knees to the right. Open up the arms. I like to hold on to that top knee and sort of make the knee do things for my back. Let's go the other direction. Just one knee at a time, kind of droops over to the other side. Okay, we're going to come through center. We're going to try to add on to that a little bit. So let's keep your shoulders where they are, but scoot your hips to the left a little bit. Drop your right leg straight. Hold on to your left big toe or edge of foot with your right hand and do a big old twist where your left leg comes to the right. You can either keep your right leg straight or bend it, reach for the foot. When we reach for the foot, usually that left shoulder comes up off the ground. But once you get your foot, twist more, get your left shoulder to the floor again. Look to the left. That left leg might not be on the floor, but that left shoulder should be on the floor. Let's take 3 more breaths. Okay, we're gonna let go of the legs. We'll come through center one leg at a time. And scoot your hips a little bit to the right so that you have space to do this comfortably. Left leg will straighten along the mat. Left hand will come to right foot. And however much we want to, we'll get that right leg straight and we'll twist. You could also do it with a bent right leg, not a big deal. When you can, right hand to left foot. We're going to try to get that left knee to face forward so that we get more hip stretch on the left side. Right shoulder to the floor. You might have to fight a little bit for the right shoulder to the floor thing. After you fight for it for about a month or two, you can decide if it was worth the fight. Okay, let's unravel ourselves. Happy baby. Soles the feet face the ceiling. You either hold the edges of the feet from the outside or you hold the heels from the inside. It's slightly different. If you've never done one of those ways, try it. And we're trying to get our thighs pretty close to the floor, which is a very tall order for the hips. That's why we practice. If it was easy, we wouldn't bother. Okay, let's hold on to the shins. We're going to rock forward and back until we can sit up. For Paschimottanasana. Straight legs, flexed feet, calves pressing into the floor. So these are crazy active legs. We reach for either the big toes, the edges of the feet, or we interlace our fingers under the feet. And we try to pull our crown of head toward the toes. Our shoulders moving away from the ears. Good. So as we choose the more advanced hand positions, it's more likely that your shoulders are going to creep up. But the more advanced you are, it just means you have more body awareness. It doesn't mean that your body is any kind of way. It doesn't mean you're more flexible or more strong. You just have more awareness. So you check it. You say, oh, I noticed my shoulders have creeped up. I'm going to change that. Okay, I'm going to turn you loose for a minute before Shavasana. So if there's anything else you need, go ahead and do it. And we have made it to the promised land. I have killed us all. So final poses could be a Baddha Konasana, a shoulder stand, a headstand, nothing. You could go right into it. You could go find your cat, put it on your chest, That could be what you do for your last minute. Good. So in corpse pose, you know to relax all your muscles, the bones get heavy. But you also need to practice relaxing your mind. So give yourself a break from the monkey mind, from your worries. All of that will be there waiting for you in 5 minutes. There's nothing you can do about it now. You're not going to change any of that during your Shavasana. Obsession over problems is not problem solving. Giving yourself a break from your obsessions is problem solving. So deep breaths into the palms of your hands and your wrists, into your elbow creases and your armpits. Into your throat and behind your ears. Where your jaw is connected, there's a lot of tension sometimes. Pay attention to it. Let it go. And if you find your worries creeping into your Shavasana, just go back to scanning your body. And just one step at a time, releasing. Let's take another minute or so here. Yoga is not a competition and Shavasana is not a competition. But if it was, Carolyn wins this round. because her left hand is on her cat. And that is as winning as you could possibly get. So let's start to wiggle our fingers and toes. And we'll bring the knees in toward the chest. We'll roll onto the right. And we'll just sit up so that we can bring our hands to prayer, thumbs between the brows. And we'll fold forward any amount, seal it in. Namaste. Thanks, y'all. I'm going to stop the recording. Bye, folks at home who did the recording.